Carnival Cruise Line thinks America has a fun problem. Last year, they built an entire ad campaign around America's so-called fun deficit. But lately, I think Carnival has developed a fun problem of its own. Longtime cruisers are paying more than ever, watching their earned perks disappear, and somehow Carnival seems less capable than Royal Caribbean of making people excited for what's coming next for the brand. And after looking at all of it, I don't think the passengers have the fun problem. I think Carnival itself may have become the least fun part of a Carnival cruise. And if that sounds dramatic, wait until you see what Carnival is about to do to its most loyal cruisers in 2 weeks. Hey, what's up? It's Corey. Welcome back to Midships. I want to make one thing clear before we go any further today, because this isn't me poo-pooing on Carnival cruises and saying they're suddenly bad or not fun. I love taking a Carnival cruise, and there is energy on board those ships that some competitors would love to be able to reproduce. The folks working on board these cruises and working at Carnival Corporation are some of the most wonderful individuals within the entire cruise industry. But as a whole, I've got some issues with what Carnival Cruise Line is doing lately, and I want to lay them out today in this video. Carnival doesn't need a billion-dollar attraction to make excitement happen. You put the right crowd around the pool, turn the music up, hand somebody a Guy's burger, and the fun usually takes care of itself.
Caribbean's fabulous. Every island has its own personality, its own flavor. But the place I like best of all, and I'm sure you will too, is right on board my ship, the Superliner Celebration.
The problem I'm talking about today starts before you ever get on board a Carnival cruise ship. For years, Carnival's appeal was that the whole thing felt uncomplicated. It wasn't pretending to be luxury or overly fancy. You got on the ship, you found some food, found a bar, and figured out what sounded fun, and you just had a vacation. Carnival has built its identity around carefree fun. So every little bit of extra friction kind of hits differently, especially considering the folks that are looking to go on a value-based cruise probably have value-based cruise budgets. This is not an insult. I have a value-based cruise budget too, big time. So one or two little extra fees or a couple bucks more here and there probably won't ruin that kind of cruiser's vacation. But when it's been 5 years of stacking up extra fees and extra costs, the experience starts to feel a little bit more transactional to the passengers than it used to. Which brings us to Carnival Rewards. The new program launches September 1st. That's 15 days from now. And it's not just like a cosmetic update to Carnival's VIFP loyalty program. Carnival is changing the basic idea of how loyalty works with them. Instead of mainly rewarding the number of days you've sailed with them, the new system leans much more heavily on how much you give to them financially. With separate points for rewards and qualifying loyalty tiers, it's all very confusing. Carnival did make changes to the original rewards announcement after they got hammered by longtime cruisers online, and now Diamond members do have lifetime status again. And they've offered a trivial amount of status protection for Platinum members. Clearly, Carnival heard the backlash and at least sort of changed. But here's the part I genuinely can't understand. The last major public update that Carnival posted about Carnival Rewards, the biggest change to their business in decades, was November of 2025. We're in August of 2026. The program launches in 2 weeks. Carnival has not said anything about it. Where's the campaign explaining any of this to cruisers? This is one of the most confusing rewards programs in all of cruising and travel. And Carnival hasn't laid this out clearly. There's still so many unanswered questions. Where is Carnival saying September 1st is here? Here's what you need to do. Here's how your old status moves. Here's what the new program looks like once you're in it. It's crickets. Existing VIFP members are being asked to move into the new program on their own and accept a new set of terms. Yet the terms are still kind of unclear. And the most visible signs for a lot of people seem to be a website banner and an email or two that, frankly, looked like phishing emails to me, and I can understand why somebody would ignore them or not click on them. Some redemption features are still coming later. We're 2 weeks away from a new program launching with them, the biggest new program in decades, and it's still coming soon. Maybe September 1st arrives and everything works beautifully. I hope it does. But if you spent 15 years earning status with a cruise line, you should not have to conduct research 2 weeks before launch of their new program to figure out what the company is doing with all the loyalty you've given them for decades. That's the kind of friction I'm talking about that's sort of putting an end or a damper to the fun. And while Carnival has been surprisingly quiet about one of the biggest customer-facing changes it's made in years, it also hasn't been especially good lately at creating anticipation about things that should actually be really fun to talk about. A few weeks ago, Carnival revealed the Destiny, the biggest cruise ship it will ever build. Carnival says more than 70% of the venues on board and attractions will be brand new concepts. But after the reveal, I kept coming back to the same question. Why didn't the biggest ship announcement in Carnival history feel big or important or noteworthy at all? Think about it. Royal Caribbean is exceptionally good at announcing new products. When Royal showed people the Aquadome on Icon of the Seas, you didn't need to know anything about cruising to understand that something unusual was happening there. Even people like me who thought the ship was kind of ugly wanted to know more about Icon. And to their credit, Carnival does know how to garner excitement over new ships. They did this too when the Mardi Gras was first coming out. It had one of the simplest pieces of cruise ship marketing imaginable. Look, there's a roller coaster on top. You see that up there and immediately understand why Mardi Gras is different from any other Carnival cruise ship you've ever sailed. And Destiny doesn't have anything like that yet. Carnival says, oh, it's got 4.5 acres of glass. And I'm sure that's impressive, especially if you're the guy that made the glass. But nobody is ever calling their travel agent to book this cruise because they heard the windows were unbelievable. The frustrating part is that I actually think there's an interesting idea underneath all of those statistics, and they just didn't know how to convey that information. Royal Caribbean's newest ships increasingly turn inward, with neighborhoods and balconies looking in on the cruise ship. Carnival seems to be making the complete opposite bet with Destiny. Maybe Carnival's trying to build a giant modern cruise ship that still feels like you're actually at sea. Very cool. I like that idea, but they gotta sell it. If 70% of Destiny really is new, show us things that give this ship its identity beyond being huge or carrying a lot of people. Give somebody who has never sailed Carnival a reason to look at the drawing of the ship and immediately want to know more and to book it. Carnival increasingly seems to assume that if we build another thing that says Carnival, the excitement will just come and take care of itself. And that's a strange assumption from a company that has already proven how good it can be at creating desire. Look at Celebration Key. Just look at this place. You see the giant lagoon pools, swim-up bars, adults and kids beach areas, and you immediately understand the vacation Carnival is selling you without a single word being said. So I don't think Carnival forgot what fun looks like. I think the company has gotten too comfortable letting the passengers and the ship's crew members and employees create the fun once they're on board ships, while the corporate side keeps adding more and more asterisks, transactions, more questions, and less excitement around what's coming next. Carnival says America has a fun deficit. Well, maybe they're looking in the wrong direction. When longtime customers are wondering, what perk am I going to lose next? When a completely new loyalty program is 2 weeks away, and the last major public update is 9 months out of date, and when the biggest ship in company history arrives with less buzz than it probably deserves, that's a strange place for the fun ship company to find itself. The fix isn't to become Royal Caribbean. I don't want Carnival to become Royal. They need to make the corporate side of the cruise vacation feel more like the experience they're promising on board. Make the rewards easy to understand. Make loyal customers feel like loyalty is worth a damn, and stop making every little improvement feel like it comes with another decision about what you're willing to pay for. And then, when you're spending billions of dollars on building the biggest, newest ship in the company history, give people something that we can talk about. Because Carnival still knows how to throw a darn good party. Their new ships are really great to cruise on. It just needs to stop making customers fight through the cover charges, the fine print, and the loyalty FAQs before they get on board their ships.